part. There we go. So bear with me one sec.
Okay.
My phone had an update last night, so it's throwing everything off too.
Yeah. I
All right. Well, welcome to Rockin' the Ring. We've talked about this a few times, and thank you for doing it the last minute for me.
Oh yeah, no problem.
So I mean, it's not saying you're the low end of the pole. It's just I have to schedule things, and I've had life events as well, so that's not helped me any either.
No,
But the scheduling.
you're good. You're good.
All right. Well, anyways, tell us a little bit about yourself. Introduce yourself. Give a little bit of backstory of how you got to Grindhouse.
Um, do you so my name is Bryce. Um, I'm from Louisville originally. Moved over to the Indiana side in about 2004, I want to say.
Well, that's a little while off there. You did the opposite of me. I came to Kentucky and Louisville in
Yeah,
2023. I mean 2003. So
2003.
I
Jeez.
came from that side of the river.
Um, uh, Actually, about the time we moved over to the Indiana side is when I got into wrestling. To be honest with you, I didn't really watch wrestling that much as a kid. Like as a really small kid, I didn't watch the Attitude Era. I got into it around 2004, the Ruthless Aggression era. Um, I was always more focused on just being outside, to be honest with you.
Hey,
Um,
considering a lot of kids your age they were on the path for video games.
I play a lot of video games too. I'm actually a huge video game fanatic personally. I really.
But I'm just saying, as compared to like back when you talk about you wanted to be outside, a lot of kids in that time frame wanted to be inside playing a video game. Otherwise,
Oh yeah. I guess I should also say my age. I'm actually 29 years old too. Um,
yeah, same age as my son.
yeah. And it flies by so quickly too. It flies by. So I got to Grindhouse actually by accident. I'm not gonna lie to you. So from 2004 to 2009 is when I started watching pro wrestling. But after 2009, I got more involved in the amateur wrestling. So I dedicated all of my later childhood years to amateur wrestling. And I just kind of lost touch with it. So whenever someone asked me about storylines from like 2010 stuff like that and up, I'm not really too knowledgeable on that stuff as much as I probably should be. Um, but about 2023, like a week before the Nightmare on Spring Street, one of my buddies from high school reached out to me. You all might know him as Pretty Boy Choi. Um, he reached out to me about the Nightmare on Spring Street show. He said, "Hey, you should come check this out." So I was like, "All right, sure, I'll come check it out." I don't have anything else really to do right on that day. I was kind of expecting it to be like really low quality indie wrestling with like a bunch of terrible wrestlers. Uh, I wasn't expecting much. I was actually expecting it to be a little bit more comedy than something serious. So when I got there, I was like, "Oh gosh, this is actually pretty cool. This is really cool." I got to see the little battle royal that they did at the beginning, and then I got to see I want to say my first wrestling match that I saw there was Leo Grimm versus Mongoose, some Mongoose guy. I thought that was a pretty good introduction to Grindhouse. Um, so yeah, I mean, it just kind of happened by accident. then like a day after that, he messaged me and was like, "Hey, you should come to training next Sunday. Come check it out." I was like, um, "Yeah, sure. I'll come check it out." So I got there at 10 in the morning, and I'm pretty sure one of the first people I met was Too Tough Tony. And we sat over by the guardrail just watching training, talking, introducing myself to everybody, um, watching, what goes on behind the scenes, that you don't really see from an outsider looking in. I thought it was really cool. I ended up not being able to um, enroll at Grindhouse because I want to say Ronnie didn't have any like contracts on hand, so I had to wait until the next week to enroll. So I ended up staying the entire training, actually, which was pretty nice. It was a pretty nice little introduction to a pro wrestling school. Yeah.
So were you surprised at the differences between professional wrestling and amateur at
Um.
that point?
Well, there's definitely more showmanship and theatrical aspects to professional wrestling compared to amateur wrestling, but professional wrestling is still a very physical contest. It's very very physical, a lot more physical than I thought it was going to be. How people say it's everything's fake, nothing hurts. Well, things things do hurt.
Yeah, and that's the dreaded word, fake. People
Yeah.
don't realize it. It's not fake.
Yeah, it's not as fake as people realize. It's the only thing that's fake about it is the outcomes of the match are predetermined.
But even then, you get in there, like you said, you got to show them, you've got to entertain, all at the same time. There's so many different pieces to that puzzle just in a short 5 minute match than there is in a 5 minute amateur match where you get points and you get everything like that. You're trying hard to do it there, where that's one sided. Whereas the others, there's five different pieces going on at one time that nobody realizes is even going on. You got the ref in there that's still part of the show. They're the director in the ring
Hmm.
sometimes. And
Hmm.
that where you got the producer in the back. Well, the ref's the director saying, "Hey, this is what you got to cut. This is how much time you've got. This is what you got left."
Yeah,
And
yeah, that's true. That's very true. Um, yeah.
so coming into Grindhouse, after you finally got into the program, that puts you just under a year and a half in the business, or more or less,
Yes.
and to be pretty active consistently at every show since even I mean, what you make your debut? What, back in July at
Last
Summer Sweatfest, somewhere in
last
there?
last year's Rise.
Last year's right. So just at a year.
Yeah.
So that's pretty quick to be involved. I mean, you were in the sidekick, so to speak, of Tyler Lee Deputy.
Uh,
Did that help? Do you think did he help you with learning? Because since you were a sidekick, he'd be telling you, "Hey, you need to do this spot for me,"
um,
or was it just go in there and just be the sidekick and watch for a couple months before he
it
was unser small until he fires?
it kind of just got me a little bit comfortable. Like it got me more comfortable in front of a live audience. You can you can only do so much in training. But all the training in the world is not going to prepare you from a live audience. Um, there's just that certain element of you've got to do it right that doesn't exist in training compared to a live audience, in my opinion, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, I mean, to me it does, but I mean, yeah, you're explaining it to the fans.
Yeah.
I mean, watching you grow in those months, because I mean, the fans. I mean, like in my little post yesterday, I said, "Is he Paul Blart? Is he Axel Foley? Is he John McClane?"
Mm-hmm.
Give an example as a cop. Is he the goofy, stupid guy? Is he the guy that's a little bit funny but serious at the same time, or is he the tough guy like John McClane that you don't give no crap to?
Uh,
You know.
yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, as soon as you come out as soon as Bad Boys hits, the crowd is all over you.
Yeah.
And you, I think, I mean, it takes tough skin to put up with some of that.
I think it's actually
And
I think it's kind of funny hearing what the fans have to say. I definitely look forward to reading the signs every month. I think it's pretty funny. Um,
point you got over,
yeah,
you know, and even if you're the bad guy, you still got to get
yeah,
over.
that's true. That is very much true. I don't really know. I I I think it's a little bit more serious. Uh, um, like Tyler Lee Deputy's character was, for the most part, pretty serious, right? I kind of want it to be more of a comedy, not like a serious comedy, if that makes sense. Like you've
Right.
got
Let's
your
go back to
serious
Axel.
moments, and
Axel
then
Foley.
sometimes you can make a fool of yourself, um, but still also be a bad guy because I do like to be a bad guy. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's fun.
I mean, they say it's always harder to be the bad guy,
Um,
because you got to get people to always hate you. I mean, even looking back at Tyler, I mean, a lot of people said Super Troopers whenever they see him coming out with that mustache.
Super Super.
That was so you get a good variety of the fan reaction to character even by look. You even changed your look up over the last few months. Carrying out the last month you carried out the Billy
Mhm.
Club longer, the extendable Billy
Yeah,
Club. That's like, what's he going to do with that?
yeah.
It's an extension of your character at this point.
Mm.
The vest, that you wear out. That's an extension of your
Hmm.
character. It's like, okay, he's going to wear that out, but is he a tough guy, or is he wearing it because he's afraid he's going to get hurt?
Mm.
You know, or I mean, the fans at Grindhouse are pretty even when they hate you, they still love you. You
Mm.
know, it's one thing I've found interesting being over there the last, what has it been, almost 3.5 years for me as a fan, and then working with them in different capacities. It's the fan base there. Even when they hate you, they actually love you because
Mm.
they know
Mm.
who's good, they know who's bad, they know how to
Mm.
cheer. So, and I've seen you've been going out to Strictly Insane out in Illinois too on occasion.
Yes.
So, what's your is there a difference between the
Oh,
characters in the location?
there's a huge difference. I'm actually I don't even I'm not a cop character over there. Strictly Insane, to be honest with you.
Okay,
I'm
what are your gimmick there?
well, it's just who I really am. But I don't know if you've heard of a tag team out there making some serious noise, the Ugly Boys. We've been making some serious noise out there. Um, but it's uh myself, OG Ugly, and Leo Grimm is
Okay,
is the tag team. Like, it's not really necessarily like a character per se, but it's just who I am without the character, like the cop character. You know what I'm saying?
so you're multifaceted. That's good. I mean, that way you can learn.
Yeah.
You can figure out. You can make You're going to go out there. You're playing a whole different character, and people don't real. I mean, right now they're not. Grindhouse is heading towards TV.
Mm-hmm.
And they've been discussing this for a little while, and I really firmly believe they're going to get there. And then you got Strictly Insane. It's growing. It's got their crowds are pretty decent, good size out there.
Mm-hmm.
So I keep up with that because, like I said, since I've tried to follow all you guys and support each one of you as I can. I can't travel to Illinois to watch you, but
Yeah.
try to catch the pictures when they're posted and you're tagged. And it's like, hey, these guys are out here busting their butts. Get
Yeah.
their names out
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, last guest I had was OG. It was Cyrus and it was Major
Yeah.
Price. They're all going. All three of those guys, great guys, and they're all out there working and hustling out there between the two right
Yeah.
now. You know, making your names for yourselves, and that's impressive, especially with the time frame that you've all been in the business, which ain't as long as you think.
Yeah.
But you're all out here showing these people that hey, Grindhouse is a great school. We know what we're not stupid. We're not trained. We are trained by the pros. You know, we're trained by Mitch, Ronnie, Tony, and guys that have come in and helped. They're giving, and each one of them guys bring a different spot to that show by training you, and that and I've watched all four of you grow within the last year. So I'm saying I've been there sitting there in the front row, hearing the cat calls. I mean, I might give you a cat call just to get you started before you get around the ring with everybody else. But and some of them cat calls they started from me.
Oh yeah.
You know, that's what's fun because I was like, hey, he's a mall cop or he's a rent a cop. You know, stuff I've heard with Big Boss Man, Bill Buchanan, all these authority figures that are cops or security guard gimmicks just to help build that crowd behind you. You know, like I said, they know, like I said, that even when they give you heat, they love you. And you can see that in the way they treat you, your small family. We're all family over there.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
that's a good point. Usually, by nature, people follow a trend. So let's say one person starts saying something, it's going to start spreading and spreading and spreading and spreading. And eventually the entire crowd will have heard what happened on the other side. So, you know, it's a snowball effect, you know?
Yeah. And like I said, I'm there to support each and every one of you there, no matter who you are. I mean, the Grindhouse family, and they call it the family. It's not a fandom. It's family, no matter who you are in that crowd, regardless if you're working behind the scenes or out in a stand. You know, Ronnie and Tony shake your hand, give you a hug, say, hey, welcome to the show. Just as much as they go back in the back, they might rip you on something you did wrong, but they still want you to get somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been at local wrestling promotions and I've been going to local wrestling promotions for 24 years now. It's hard to believe that consistently, and I've been in places where I've heard guys where you can hear them getting yelled at out in the audience, and that's not something you want to hear or see because of one mess up. You know, I've heard it over time cues. I've heard it over, oh, you did this, you took too long or did something wrong getting the crowd behind you when they didn't want you behind you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's certainly a lot of pressure on us as performers.
So who's been in the last year, who's been your favorite opponents?
Oh,
I mean, you've had some title matches, or caught in the middle of some title feuds, a little bit of everything.
Ethan Heyer has probably been one of my favorites that I've wrestled. He's really good. I'm not gonna lie to you. He's pretty good. Me and Techno have wrestled a few times. He's also pretty solid. Who else have I wrestled? I'm not gonna lie to you. I am terrible with memory. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm so bad at memory. I used to write the stuff down, but man, it just I'm terrible at remembering. Um, yeah, those are two that really stand out to me.
And to think this too, going back to that, all you guys have been under 2 years training since
Yeah,
training started. I mean, that includes Techno. He's not been wrestling very long
yeah,
either. And like I said, and to get and like I said, to come in and Techno came into Grindhouse. He's not a Grindhouse graduate, but he's came into Grindhouse and gotten over, and he's got a good fan base
yeah,
there.
yeah,
Ethan's probably been the top baby face there for him, and between him and Birdo, probably neck and neck, and sometimes.
yeah.
I mean, through the
I,
last year and a half, they've had two solid stories with them. Where
I've
Ethan,
wrestled Birdo I wrestled Birdo
yeah,
at a birthday party once. He's another good opponent to wrestle. He's
yeah.
very good. Is
he's he's scheduled for an interview coming up soon too.
mm,
So I've known Birdo for quite a few years, and he's probably one of the locker room leaders over there, wouldn't you
I
say?
would definitely say so. Yes.
I mean, he's got I think 13 years experience,
Yeah.
which you wouldn't think,
Mm, mm-hmm.
but so yeah, like I said, it's just I mean, like I said, you've been putting in such even like I said in losing efforts, you've been putting in solid work, solid work for a short time in the business. I mean, I could go on and on about like I said. I mean, that's what impresses me with Ronnie and Tony and the schooling that they give you guys. It's they don't throw you out in front of that audience unless you're ready. You know,
Mm,
I mean, there's a few guys that are. I mean, like I said, you and Ugly and Cyrus and Major Price all coming out same pretty much same time frame, and you're all getting out there and hustling. I mean, I can't say anything more about that, and the work ethic that you got that they train and put in you that's showing. Hey, let's keep going. Let's keep pushing forward. Don't look back. You're put out there. If you don't do the job that they think you're doing, they'll pull you from the show, and then guess what? Then you'll start over, or you'll have to go elsewhere. Just
well,
like I mean, we've seen that.
it's it's a sink or swim business. You're going to be put out there. You got to figure it out.
Right?
That's the reality that people don't want to talk about. You have to either you sink or you swim.
Yeah.
Some people sink, some people swim.
Yeah. Well, that's one of the conversations that are having this. I've seen on a couple other podcasts and interviews being done this week with the WWE letting go 20 plus people in a week. They're telling these people, they're saying these people either need to, if they want to make it, keep pushing and sell themselves, or they're just going to turn around and be gone and there'll be a torque thought.
Mm-hmm.
That's your own. Like you just said, that's your choice, sink or swim.
Yeah.
So where do you see yourself going? I mean, you're later in life. You've got a small family. Where do you see you're going? You see keep going to just you two, or go forward trying to achieve the heights, the super heights?
So yes, I'm a little bit older. I'm 29, so my body is not going to be strong forever. I've kind of given myself like um 5 to 10 years is like the if I don't at least make it to where I can quit my day job, then I'm probably not going to continue wrestling. Because I mean I if I get hurt um wrestling, I can't work my real job. If I can't work my real job, then I can't pay the bills. If I can get to where I can make a living wrestling, then I'd say it's worth it. I know I might be a little I might be a little too old to maybe make it to like the WWE or something. But I'd like to make it onto TV for sure. So like I said, I've pretty much given myself like a 5 to 10 year window. And if I don't make it after those 5 to 10 years, then it's not for me.
I mean, you've got, it's not like, I mean, looking at pictures I see all the time of your matches, see from your family, it seems like they're all proud of you for even attempting what you're doing. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, not just the fans. I mean, family's important. Family, regardless if it's right beside you or if it's external. As long as to me, they should support you regardless. But we don't see that all the time in life, unfortunately. But that's like me with my podcasts. My family supports me. You know, I'm 53 years old myself, or will be 53. Sorry, and people's like, why are you doing this in your 50s? Well, guess what? I'm trying to have fun in my life. I can't get in the ring like you guys do, but I can respect what you do. You know, I mean, I love sitting under the tree just like you all do with Ronnie and Tony, listening at shows, and it's taught me a lot, even in the last 2 years that I've been doing things over there. You know, I mean, I've learned how a little bit, not a whole lot, but I've learned enough to understand a little more about the business than the average fan. But with podcasts like this and other podcasts, and then now behind the scenes stories on WWE.com, WWE's putting out. Whoever would have thought kayfabe would be different than it was 10 years ago, 15 years ago,
Do you
5 years
think
ago,
that's a good thing?
even.
Do you think that's a good thing for business or a bad thing?
With the fan base that's out there, probably it's a cutting edge sword, because that's even when we saw storylines being spoiled going into WrestleMania this year. You know,
Mm.
you know, and we had a good amount of surprises too. But
It takes away
we've
the
seen
element of
people,
surprise.
right, and that's what I like when, like I said, we know a long story. We've seen this, like I said, we've seen the Berto story for a year and a half at Grindhouse. We've seen Ethan's story for a year. That's a good long time to build a story and and to keep it flowing even after the fact. You know, I mean, you know, I mean, we've seen the Masked Man end up being someone you would have never expected in Oliver Gunner at
Mm.
Grindhouse. I mean, me and Oliver have talked a few different times through the year since he's been gone, because he was a champion for another podcast that I worked on,
Yeah.
and he completely kayfabed me, and I was shocked just as much as everybody. You know,
Uh,
and
yeah. I didn't even know about it either. I didn't know who it was either. I'm not gonna lie to you. People think we know everything behind the scenes, and we don't. Believe it or not, we do not know
well,
everything. Um,
and I don't think you need to.
yeah.
I think, like you just said, we all need an element of surprise. Even working with somebody,
Yeah.
you need to have a little fun. That's the only thing that's going to keep the magic alive, is the element of surprise.
Yeah.
Like you were saying, you went back to the aggression era. I remember I was going to the Ohio Valley Wrestling when John Cena trained in Jeffersonville. So that's when he said he's retiring. It's like, okay, I'm gotten old now. Because, like I said, I started going to OVW 24 years ago,
Yeah.
back in March. And the big thing at that point was Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle was the face of the company for a little while there, while Triple H was the heel. You
Mm.
know, and he was taking on Taker, and then you got Cena come along, took on Angle, and built him up.
Yeah.
You know, so it's a continual story, and then you have build up news characters. You had a Roman Reigns. So I see that even with Grindhouse. You've seen over the last 2 years, the couple years I've been there. You've seen, like I said, stories that were there. You've seen, like I said, you step out on your own after Tyler left, and have really stepped up your game. Going in against guys that are bigger than you, but you're still holding your own. That's the storytelling. Makes the fan believe. You talking about? I mean, Ethan was the underdog. Everybody's like Ethan, Ethan, Ethan. Well, Ethan's the David versus Goliath, and now with the new story he's got going on with Larry D, where's that going to lead? What's it going to do? Only time will tell.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what? Going back to you were talking about if you lose, get injured in the ring and you can't do your day job. What is your day job?
I am actually a FedEx ground delivery driver. I deliver packages to people. Mm-hmm. It's a physical job. It is a very physical job, and yeah, people hate us sometimes. People hate us. They think they think that we break all their packages. They think that we oh man, you wouldn't believe some of the stuff they call me. Some of the stuff that I get called by customers is worse than what people call me out there in the ring. I'm not gonna lie to you. I've been had guns pulled on me. I've had dogs try to bite me. I've had birds poop on me.
I worked retail for 25 years, and I've pretty much had all that.
Yeah.
People was like, "Oh, retail ain't nothing." Yeah, try to work in management for 25 years. You can write a book.
Retail sucks.
I got out of it. I got out of it 6 years ago.
Yeah.
So, but do what's that?
I said retail's rough for sure.
I call it retail hell. So.
Retail hell. Yeah.
And then now I'm in storage, and now I'm an adult babysitter with some people.
Okay. Okay.
Well, go real quick. We'll get ready to close up for the night. But I appreciate you again stopping by with me.
Mm-hmm.
Hope you've enjoyed yourself. Tell the fans where they can find you on your socials and wherever else, and anywhere else you wrestle besides the two we discussed, or you can talk about that and shows coming up.
We have a show. Grindhouse has a show May 18th in New Albany. It's at the Knights of Columbus VFW Hall, I want to believe. That should be interesting. That's going to be the first time Grindhouse has traveled as a show, like, to another location. We had that one little two-way wrestling thing with, I don't remember what it was, but we wrestled another promotion. That was pretty cool. But this is Grindhouse actually traveling outside. That should be pretty cool. I'm also going to be in Strictly Insane later this month too. And as far as socials go, all I have is the Officer Midnight on Facebook. I'm not very tech savvy. As weird as that is, I'm not very tech savvy at all. I'm kind of old school on that. So yeah, just Officer Midnight at Facebook for right now.
All right. I appreciate it. Well, best of luck with everything. Thank you again for being on just with me. With Rockin' the Ring with Metal Mike. Like I said, next week we've got possibly Birdo with Hippo, and May 27th we'll be back. Oliver Gunners has get rescheduled for that evening. Both shows start at 7:00 p.m. Eastern Time, live on Facebook. And then the shows will be uploaded to YouTube and on TikTok. You can also follow me on Instagram as well. It's all Rockin' the Ring with Metal Mike on all of those platforms. If you have any questions or anything or any ideas that you'd like to see on the show, reach out to me on any of those platforms and we'll see if we can get you on. Guys, have a great evening. Thanks, Officer Midnight, for joining us. Guys, have a great evening. Be safe. Stay well. Thank you.